General Yahanna, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he make man. God made man. God want man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
We don't need a black man in the White House. We need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
Yeah. What's going on, fam? ISUPK.com is the website. I'm Commander General Yahanna. I'm up in the building with the heavy hitters holding it down. Big shout out to General Muhammad. Big shout out to General Micah Allah. Big shout out to General Hazayan. Big shout out to Officer Murad and his team, him Yadai Ibad, holding us down like they do every week. Thank the Lord for them, having y'all in here, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight, as we usually do. The madness has hit an all-time high across this earth, and it's ridiculous how this world is not even moved by it. I guess everybody worrying about the corona. I guess everybody walking around worrying about not taking the shot. Can you hear me? No. Yes, no.
Go, sir. You can keep rocking.
Y'all can hear me?
Kind one kind.
All right, where we going first, y'all? Let's go to Larry Elder. He got egg yolked. They tried to crack him in the head with an egg out there on the West Coast, didn't they? Go ahead, please.
Conservative black politician Larry Elder told Candace Owens slave owners deserve reparations too.
Can we play the video, sir, or no?
Please, yeah, get down.
Okay, but now we're not gonna have a problem with this video, right? We're playing it on YouTube.
Not if it comes from YouTube. Shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
Comes from it because they got news. They got news articles of it. Is it her a news show? If it's something like that, it should be fine.
Yeah, it kind of is like a news show.
Yeah, go ahead and let's roll.
Sir, I'm pulling it up right now, sir. Give me 1 second.
The UK was ahead of us. They were. Do you know that the slave owners were compensated? After they lost their quote-unquote property, the government compensated slave owners.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so when people talk about reparations, do they really want to have that conversation? Because, like it or not, slavery was legal. And so their property, their legal property, was taken away from them after the Civil War. So you can make an argument that the people that are owed reparations, and not only just black people, but also the people whose quote property, close quote, was taken away after the end of the Civil War.
Right behind them.
By the way, when you mentioned that the UK was ahead of us, they were. Do you know that the slave owners were compensated? After they lost their quote-unquote property, the government compensated slave owners.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so when people talk about reparations, do they really want to have that conversation? Because, like it or not, slavery was legal. And so their property, their legal property, was taken away from them after the Civil War. So you can make an argument that the people that are owed reparations, and not only just black people, but also the people whose quote property, close quote, was taken away after the end of the Civil War.
Right behind them.
By the way, when you mentioned that the UK was ahead of us, they were. Do you know that the slave owners were compensated? After they lost their quote unquote property, the government compensated slave owners.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
that's it, sir.
Yeah, amazing. Like because it was legal, which is what Republicans have been hiding around for 400 years. Because it was legal, they believe that the white people should have been compensated, and he believes probably, and he's more focused on that rather than the people that have suffered, which is such a white thing to do. Like Larry Elder is so perfect for the Republican Party because he's one of those black men who hate black people so much that they have zero empathy for what you suffered. For what we suffered in this country for 400 years, they have zero empathy and zero sense of fairness and justice. They only have that fairness and justice when it comes to an Edomite. Like he fully understands that since it was legal and it was the property of Edom, we were the property of Edomites, he fully understands that these Edomites should be compensated for their property being taken away from them. But he has no sense of justice even when laws are made wrongfully. When a law is made wrongfully, it's supposed to be fixed. But he's such a disgusting, this brother right here is a disgusting human being. Like he is a horrible, horrible human being. And brother, and it was brother, go ahead, General.
I'm gonna step out on a limb and ask for a picture of his wife.
Yikes.
I don't know. It might be nothing, Maya.
Yikes.
Just in case.
Yikes.
Sir, that was it.
Like this cat here is so what brothers had to go through when we were coming out of captivity. Like brothers like him, as we work to come out of captivity in the name of the Most High, brothers like him are disgusted by black people. They are disgusted by black people and blame black people for every single thing that they are suffering. Like men like him never ever think about whether or not there are things. There you go. You called it. Like it was obvious.
It wasn't magic. It was just logic.
God. You understand? Like he's a horrible human being. Like brothers like him never look at the fact that these people who suffered so long, maybe, just maybe, there are those who are out there doing things behind closed doors to destroy them that is not being said. And that came out with Nixon's White House man, John Holden. He came out and said that we set up the war on drugs. And we use the war on drugs to destroy and to disrupt black people's and Latino people's organizations, man, to kill their leaders, man. They did those things. The CIA, there's a new movie out on Netflix. Oh, man, what is the name of that movie? I think it's called, forgive me, I'll try to look it up. But there's a new movie out discussing the trade war with the Iran-Contra scandal. It was a different type. It got Ben Affleck in it. If you got Netflix, pull up a new movie with Ben Affleck in it. And they talk about how they was running this war and the things what they doing. And once again, like other countries get reparations for what happened to them. Like it was not illegal. It was not illegal to put the Japanese in internment camps. That was not illegal. That was legal to do. It was a state. It was, say again?
No, that was it, sir. Go ahead, sir.
It was a state of war. And in that state of war, the United States government had a right to lock up, according to the law at that time, to lock up people who they suspected were against the government, namely those of Japanese descent. They had just been hit by a horrifying attack on Pearl Harbor, and they locked those Japanese up. But when they let the Japanese out, they turned around and paid them, man. They paid them for what was done to them. But Larry Elder could never see that because he is reviled by black people. I said this, y'all know this. I said this years again. If they come out with a pill that will change black people's skin white, y'all better get ready, because it'll be the end of the black race.
Yeah.
And not because nobody gonna force you to take the pill like the vaccine. You gonna take the guy. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm glad that came up. If tomorrow they say Everybody must take the vaccine. The only downside to the vaccine is your skin is gonna turn white. It ain't gonna be a Negro complaining. Every preacher, every church leader, they'll all be lined up saying, take the vaccine. Take the vaccine. It'll make us all one people. And Negroes will be lining up taking that vaccine, turning white. Larry Elder fits in that group. Larry Elder didn't do his research on the State Department's minor, what do they call it? Minor majority. I forget the name of it. The
wait, no.
Something to the effect of the perfect minority.
Model minority.
What's it called?
Model minority.
Right. What about the State Department's program of the model minority, which degraded Black and Latino people and uplifted these so-called Asians so that they could excel in school? Like the entire government motivated the Orientals to excel in school while using tactics to destroy Black people. What do you think is going to happen when the Afghanistanians, all the money, brother, coming in for the Afghanistanians are? Like, they coming over here, brother, getting all the help they need. I mean, do you, as a Black person or Latino person that ever sought out?
Can everyone hear me? Okay, what should we do?
Salaki, sir, you went out. Commander GEN.YAHANNA.
Am I still out or am I back?
Commander GEN.YAHANNA, can you hear us?
1, 2, 3, 4. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
No line can hear him, right?
I can hear you. I hear you. I'm good as far as hearing you. You can't hear me?
You're back now.
Okay. All right. Okay. We got something going on. All right. So back to what I was saying, right? Like the State Department. Did y'all get the part where I was talking about the State Department pushing the model minority? Like that, none of that comes across Larry Elder's mind. What about think about the millions and millions of Blacks and Latinos who have been applying for public housing. Can you still hear me?
Man, let's let him go.
Can you still hear me? Hey, can you hear me?
We good to go.
Okay. What about the millions hey, just stop me. If you can't hear me, stop me, all right? Yeah.
Colonel McCann.
Yeah, we on a strong delay. I'm good as far as hearing you. You can't hear me? You're back now. Okay. All right. Okay, let me keep going. All right, so what I was going to say is simply this, that could you imagine the millions of Blacks and Latinos around this country who have been applying for housing, some of them 10, 15, 20 years ago, they were applying for housing. And now the Afghans come over here and they're going to get pushed to the front of the line. Just imagine, they're going to get housing and they're never even going to even walk into a welfare office. You understand? They're never even going to be able to walk they're not going to have to walk into a welfare office to get food stamps and to get the things that they need. They're never going to be undignified like our Black women were, having to sit in waiting rooms with hundreds of people, knowing everybody is here to beg the empire for a few crumbs to feed their babies. They're never going to know what that kind of indignity that we suffered is even going to be. And Larry Elder will never understand things like that. He will never understand those type of things. And because of it, Black people have to choose a whole new leadership. We have to choose a whole new leadership under Christ, because the leaders like Larry Elder will never, ever understand. And isn't he good friend? Is he friends with Trump? I don't know if he's friends with Trump or not. But this brother right here is a disgusting human being. Like, you looking at Black people like they filthy, like they dirty, like they are the bottom of the barrel. And you look at this man like he is a great success. He got the square haircut. He got the perfect Donald Trump tie. You understand? He got the perfect Donald Trump tie and the pinstripe suit. He got the model woman. Like, that's what every ball player and every so-called Negro that's trying to express a perfect Donald Trump. That's what the hell that they looking for. They looking to model woman. Like, they looking to win her, to get that old fake blonde with them blue eyes and look at her like in his mind, he's a success that everybody should follow. In his mind, he is what a black man should become in America, man. And he has no idea that he is a disgusting human being. So that was it on that. Now, I can't hear y'all. Oh yeah, yes I can.
Okay.
You think we need to restart? Where we at?
Sir, we right here. You hear us, right?
Yeah, I hear you well. Can you hear me?
G'day. G'day.
Good, Captain Tower. Y'all was talking about good with you. Hey, man, you know, I've been bumping that motherfucker one way for they buried me, man. I just want to let you know.
Hey, Marah, I'm hearing a rap video in the back. You got something else playing?
Please.
Kind of a constant. We just have a sound issue in our studio.
All right, Marah, and Muhammad, why don't we go ahead and shut it down for a minute and swing it back? Say again.
Okay, we'll take a break, Marah. Everyone stand by. We'll take a quick break, go to the commercial, all right? You got it.
They say faith without works is dead, nigga. And if you ain't putting in no work, you scared, nigga. It's a new breed of black man in this earth. And we ain't putting up with your bullshit no more. Niggas dying and don't see none of y'all in these streets. Mama's crying, going to funerals every week. And when you speak, you wanna say forgive your enemies? Please. Don't talk to me about peace. Niggas locked up with no voice to help them get free. Then they pop up and try to sell a nigga that same dream. The truth is, they don't give a damn about you or me. So please, don't talk to me about peace. It's time to show and prove. We hear you huffing and puffing, talking and bargaining. Niggas, show me what your ass can do. You say you got the truth, so when our kids was getting murdered in the streets, nigga, tell me where the hell were you? Hit crickets in the room. Yeah, I know, you can care less, only if it benefits you. But I tell you what you do, pack your shit up and move. Out of time you lose, cause real niggas coming through. Instead of worrying about our people getting slaughtered, these niggas crying cause they can't get a motherfucking answer. And by the way, our people in Flint, they need a water, but you playing like me speaking no English from across the border. But I gotta keep it real. Shout out to Nilly for real, cause he helped another brother and a sister live. No more closed eyes, no more ducking high, no more yo disguise. Praises to the Most High. Niggas dying and don't see none of y'all in these streets. Mama's crying, going to funerals every week. And when you speak, you wanna say forgive your enemies? Please. Don't talk to me about peace. Niggas locked up with no voice to help them get free. Then they pop up and try to sell a nigga that same dream. The truth is, they don't give a damn about you or me. So please, don't talk to me about it. In a court of law, it ain't about what you know, it's what you can prove. You ain't got no evidence, you lose. These crackers got rules, make you put your hands on the Bible, you swear to tell the truth. They trying to ban you, don't get it confused. In a court of law, you can cut your dreads and wear a nice suit, they still gon' label you a goon. You slept with 12 jurors, one judge, and a half a chance of making it out that room. They trying to ban you, I thought you knew, nigga. But everything ain't what it seems, cause the judge, prosecutor, and PD against you. They all tag team. They try to make you take the plea and make you serve 10, 20 life without parole. Back in slavery. So separation is the key. Let's separate from the crackers that hate us and need niggas that let them infiltrate us. Weak ass, sweet ass. Talk when the cracker tell your ass to speak ass. Niggas dying and don't see none of y'all in these streets. Mama's crying, going to funerals every week. And when you speak, you wanna say forgive your enemies? Please. Don't talk to me about peace. Niggas locked up with no voice to help them get free. Then they pop up and try to sell a nigga that same dream. The truth is, they don't give a damn about you or me. So please, don't talk to me about it. And I ain't trying to be like Pop Dog. I'm picking up what Pop left off, so hit him up, cause I'm coming for all y'all. Fuck Jada Pinkett, fuck Will Smith, fuck White Jesus for you Christian ass niggas. And I ain't forget still, fuck all you rapping faggot ass niggas getting fucked for a deal, but claim you real. Apologize for the truth, no, never will. You looking at a U.P.K. free state like it is. Niggas think they got freedom in America, and they don't realize they free farm in America. That red, white, and blue flag will represent your freedom. To the red, white, and blue badge, arrested for no fucking reason. National Association, advancement of color people. Yeah, more like the other people. You put your trust in that fake ass Barack Obama, but join the real brotherhood with Gen.YAHANNA. Niggas dying and don't see none of y'all in these streets. Mama's crying, going to funerals every week, and when you speak, you wanna say forgive your enemies? Like, please, don't talk to me about beef. Niggas locked up with no voice to help them get free. Then they pop up and try to sell a nigga that same thing. The truth is, they don't give a damn about you or me. So please, don't talk to me about beef.
Okay. So are you not talking to him? Hold on, I'll tell him.
Shalaka, sir. Commander GEN.YAHANNA, sir.
Yeah.
We just had a short and not speaker. That's all. You can continue, sir.
All right, we back up.
Yes, sir. Kind of one.
So are they going to hear us?
Yes.
Say one more time.
I was asking him, will they hear us? He said yes.
Okay, yeah, y'all sound better, and the signal's coming in way better now. Into the feed, it's coming in real strong.
It looked like one of these wires is loose. Is that what happened?
All right, we'll get back to it. Let's get back into it if y'all don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I was saying, Larry Elder is a monster, man. He's exactly what you go back and look into his history of how he grew up and the life he had. Probably so far removed from what black people have gone through. It's probably far, far removed from what the life we've been through and the life that the average brother and sister has been through. And once again, in this evil world, it's looked at as a wonderful thing if you leave Black America and become as white-minded as you possibly can. Right. You can leave Black America. Go ahead, General. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm looking at that smile. Right. They say to make Esau like you, to make the oppressor like you, got to learn to smile.
Right.
Right smile for them to love you. And he look like he's mastered, like you said, probably been smiling like that since he was a kid. Been taught to smile like that.
That's
so
right.
Disconnected from his own people. You don't understand? So disconnected. It's like you said, he like a so-called white man just born with a brown face. You know what I'm saying? Worse than Negro.
Look, you right. Like he probably worked so hard from young to force himself not to think and accept anything black, so that he could totally shed himself of any ounce of anything black, just so he could fit in as much as he can. And we once again, we look at that as something great. The Lord looks at it as you being somebody who will whore yourself out at any cost. The Lord don't look at it as honorable. He look at it as you're somebody who, for the love of money, you will give up every single ounce of your soul to be a part of the empire that has destroyed and oppressed your people, and you won't stand up for them in any way. Like, that's not an honorable position to be in. Like in Esau's world, if you are Edomite, that totally goes against the Edomite world and totally joins the black world, they look at you like you are foul and you are disgusting. Like you know, like if you go, I remember recently that actor Sean, what's his name? Y'all know him. He used to go with Madonna years ago. Sean Penn. Mm-hmm. Sean Penn. Remember when he went over to Iraq? He went over to I think it was Iraq or Iran. He went over to one of them countries. And he went over there, brother, and talked to the people in the country and was talking about, you know, hearing their side of the story. And white America trashed him to no end. They trashed him at the time like he was a traitor and a monster because he went to actually hear the sides of the enemies of America. Well, that's how they think about white men who go and try to go to the other side. Yes. But we don't look at a black man that does that the same way. We look at a black man that does that like he stepped it up to be more successful in this world. When the majority of successful black people are not the ones that are like him. The majority of successful black people are entertainers and sports figures. They don't necessarily wear a suit and tie and try so hard to dress like that. They do try to get them white women, but they don't necessarily operate like that. And those people, brother, are the ones, those like him are the ones that would see us destroyed. And something else, if I could add to it, when brothers like this get up into white America, they give white America the removal of guilt for the evil things that they do to us. Like they see, go ahead, General, go ahead. I know you know all about this topic. Go ahead.
I'm agreeing with you, General. I'm just agreeing.
What I was just going to say is that when they get up in that world and they see him, two things go to mind. One, he did it. Why can't the rest of them act right? That's what goes through their minds. Like he's one that is successful. So why isn't it the rest of Black America can't think like him and do like he does? That's number one. Number two, he will open his mouth against black people and take away the guilt that any Edomite feels for what they've done to us. He'll take it away. That's why he's in there saying, well, white people should, if you want to talk about reparations, white people should receive reparations for the slaves that they had. Their property was taken away. That's what they said. England was ahead of us. England gave them reparations. So white America should get reparations as well. That's a man who takes away the guilt of what happens to them. When God drowned the entire Egyptian army, wiped out their economy, destroyed their empire, and the Greeks came in and took the whole thing over and painted themselves on the pyramids and the tombs. Like that was the Lord's judgment. His judgment is that the white people should get reparations. But the Lord's judgment is, I'm going to wipe their whole empire out. And that's the difference between men of God and Larry Elder and black leaders like him. And Candace Owen. Candace Owen has absolutely no soul. And that's a soulless broad. They probably pay her a king's ransom because she is earnestly working to hate the people that are enslaved. And one thing you have to have, like to continue keeping up slavery, to continue robbing and ripping off and destroying the people that are under you, to continue putting the Afghanistanians over you, you understand, you need somebody to take away the guilt and the wrong judgment of what you do. And brothers like Larry Elder do just that. And if I could add one more thing, it's such a shame. Every black man in America, if you listening to me out there, if you're a black man in America and you believe in the religion of Islam, then you should be bowing your head in sadness and in shame. You should be bowing your head in sadness and shame, and here's why. Because the people that enslaved you for 400 years, destroyed your families, man, that put your people in poverty, that destroyed your education, that in many cases ended up coaxing you into becoming a drug dealer or a criminal, that put you in prison. And in that prison, you learned the religion of Islam. And now you're a Muslim. And you should feel ashamed at the fact that your people who have struggled in this place for so long and so hard just got stepped on by the people of your religion. The religion that comes from the other side of the world. Like if I was a Muslim right now, I would feel horrible because I would be saying to myself, here I am believing in the religion of the Arabs from the other side of the world. And this man that have oppressed me for 400 years, Now he is going to give money and housing and everything to the people that destroyed me. If those people were, if you were an honorable Muslim, you would be at the airport and you would be saying to those Afghans, you would be saying, look, you come here and the slave master is giving you money and apartments. You take that money and go give it to the black people that are Muslims who are in poverty. Let's see the Brotherhood of Islam. Let's see if these Afghans gonna give you black Muslims their apartments, whom your family been online for 20 years on the list trying to get an apartment. Let's see if they're going to turn around and give your family, let's say if they're going to say to the State Department, Mr. White Man, thank you for giving us this apartment. But our Islamic black brothers who've been here on this list for 20 years, they deserve their apartment. We will go to the homeless shelter, give them the apartment. Let's see if that'll happen. Let's see if that should go on, which is once again why the Israelite School of UPK, there's no way. If you are black in America, y'all stop me jumping anytime. But if you are black in America, there is no way you could have any religion that associates you with a God of any other people on this earth. That's why the Israelite School of UPK, we went and researched it out and found out blacks and Latinos in this country are descendants of the real Jews. And whites are not. We're not joining the religion of the white Jews. So don't get it twisted. We're not trying to be a part of the religion of the white Jews. We are saying they are not the people of God, that you alone are the people of God, that's your identity. And that separation from every other nation is how you survive. Black men went over there to Afghanistan and fought that war. Many of them lost their lives. Forget about the Latinos. The Mexicans were signing up like crazy. And when the Mexicans was coming back, and even before they came back, this beast was turning around and deporting their families while they were over there getting shot to death to fight this war. And now the war is over, and now they're going to help out the ones in Afghanistan and help them. What about all the Mexican brothers and sisters who were soldiers and families got deported? Not a mention in any newspaper or news report in the United States of America, not even a mention of it, because nobody gives a damn. And if you're a Muslim, if that is your religion and you're black in America, where is your heart for your Muslim black brothers and sisters? How dare you turn around and accept the Afghanistanians who are Muslims like you? How dare you accept them receiving funds and benefits from the slave master while your people do not? Like them Afghanistanians, you say you're a Muslim and them Afghanistanians fought Islam with you. Okay, y'all fought together. Y'all was all about Islam together and all that. Now the war is over. It's some benefits to get from the war. Why is it that they get the benefits before your black Muslim brothers in America? I'll tell you why. I'll help you out. Because every nation that you ever put your hand to join, they always put their God over you, man. I read that scripture the other day. That was such a heavy scripture. I know it went over a lot of heads. I read that scripture the other day where the Lord said that the heathens were in our land, and they sent priests up to teach them the right way. And all those heathens went out to set up their own gods for their own people. And you are worshiping a God of the people of the Arab world. And every time a benefit comes to the Arab world, you are not going to be the one to get the benefit of it. You are not going to be a gun. Go look up some of them documentaries on Islam and what's going on in the Middle East. They having racial discrimination against blacks in those Muslim countries, man. And then ask yourself another question. Every black Muslim country, every single black Muslim country, whether it be Africa or where else, ask yourself one simple question. Did this country become Islamic because they wanted to, or did they become Islamic because they were slaughtered? Now, if they became Islamic because they are slaughtered, why would you take your people and subject them onto the very same religion and God that every black person that's under that religion is under that religion because of murder and slaughter to be up under that religion. Why would you even do it, man? The only way to free a black man and a Latino man is they must find a God that is not tied to no other nation. We found that God, and you made him unpopular over the years. You've made his taste horrible in the mouths of the world because you hated him because you thought he was a white God. Well, the God in the Bible is a black God. The God in the Bible has nothing to do with white America, nothing to do with the Arabs, nothing to do with the Orientals, nothing to do with the Africans, nothing to do with anybody but the 12 tribes that he chose. That's the God that belongs to black people. That's why he's not joined to no other God. So what happened, and if I could, last point, it went over so many people's heads, man. What happened when they gave when the State Department stepped in to help these Arabs from Afghanistan? It just went over everybody's head. And when it was such something we've been watching for 100 years in this country, 100 years for 400 years in this country, we have believed that everything that happens to us is our fault. Larry Elder epitomizes that. Larry Elder, you couldn't shoot Larry. I don't want nobody to think they should shoot Larry Elder. Let me just say it this way. You could not convince Larry Elder that anything that happens to black people is not their fault, no matter what you did to him. Like, that's what's happened to us. You want to know what the real problem of slavery is? It's real simple. What lives in Larry Elder lives in black Christians all across this country. The hate and disdain for black and Latino people, and the utter, endless, dying, unconditional love of white America. And because of it, you could never get him to have empathy for what has happened to you. Which is why you need a new God. You need a God. And let me tell you this. That's why the God of the Bible is so perfect. He's such an amazing God for this reason. Because when you go into captivity and you shed every ounce of you and you die in the meantime, get me the story of Adam and Eve where it said that they sewed fig leaves onto them. I'm going to have Muhammad break it down. But I need you to read this out because the Most High is such an amazing, amazing God. Because when you go into captivity and you lose every single ounce of your original identity, when you have washed yourself of every single bit of yourself and married a white woman and joined their society and speak for them and have disdain for black people that say we were wrong when they were put in chains. Because of that, then comes along the real God. And the real God says, you know what? I want you to separate from these other nations. I want you to get away from them. I want you to have nothing to do with their gods. I want you to get rid of their gods. I want you to get rid of their temples. I want you to leave their identities. You get a God, you find a God that separates you from everybody else. And thanks be to the Lord that he is that type of God. Because if he had not been that type of God, there would be no way to wake up the brothers and sisters who would be brainwashed under a man like Larry Elder. There would be no way to wake them up, because the only way to wake us up is to have an impossible rule. You want to know why the Israelite school UPK is so hated and they give us labels and call us different type of things? Because the God of the Bible will not allow you to join anyone else. And he does it because he's so much smarter. He's so much smarter that he knows that if he allows you to join anybody, you'll just be a slave under them, and he won't have a rule to get you out of that slavery. And that's why he made that rule. Come on, Yediah, tell them where you're going.
Kind of what kind, sir?
If I could,
please.
Larry Elder, right? Like, I'm looking at it. This cat that, like you brought up a heavy point earlier when they said they don't allow our oppressors to feel guilt, because some white people, when they're around you, they like to act like, they have sympathy for our plight or say something towards us that, I'm sorry for what happened. I understand. But he's the type of Negro be like, oh, no, don't feel bad. No, mistakes happen. You know, every great nation has growing pains. Don't feel bad. It was the law back then. It's not your fault. Talk just like that and build them up. Like, don't even feel bad about your past or how we got here, you know what I'm saying, or our position now and the crimes that was done about us. He consoles them where they can never feel guilt. Slock you, sir.
Give it up, Bobby. What you saying, brother, is so right. Like, it's so right. And here's why it's so important. I know we're taking a lot of time on it, but was somebody else coming in? I'm sorry. Okay, here's why it's so important. Because that poison never allows us to put the wind inside of our chest and say we demand justice. Like, you wonder why black people don't never get justice, because they can never act. Can I go ahead?
You guys go.
Okay, they could never ask for justice. They could never say you did us wrong, because if they say you did us wrong, Larry Elder will be there saying, well, white people with their property, y'all was their property. They got, they should have, been compensated for that. Like, that's who will be there saying that. So you can't never be on the right side of the argument. You ain't right when crime goes up. You ain't right even when you in poverty. Like, if you in poverty, you were asking for a handout, you ain't right then. You ain't right when you mad about the wages. You ain't right for that. You ain't right if you say certain rules should go on for blacks and Latinos. You ain't right for that. You ain't right if you say the police is beating up and harming black people. You ain't right if they say the police is killing black people. You ain't right if they pour drugs in black and Latino neighborhoods and black and Latinos get on drugs. You ain't right for that either. That ain't their fault. It's your fault. It's your fault for everything that happens. It's all your fault. Your fault, the crime. Is your fault for the drugs. It's your fault for everything. It's your fault. Healthcare is going up. It's your fault for everything. And so you never get us to say, you know what? We was right. Y'all was wrong. And you owe us. And you're to do the right thing. You never get a chance to say that, which is what happened with the children of Israel. It's why Pharaoh, like the Lord said, he hardened Pharaoh's heart. It's why Pharaoh was disgusted with Moses. He was disgusted with Moses because how dare Moses come in here and tell him that he had done something wrong? You think Larry Elder, as an advisor, would go to Donald Trump and say, look, man, you wrong for talking about black people this way, or treat Latinos like they all rapists, or putting their babies in cages? He would not say that. He would say, well, the law says they can't cross the border illegal. Like, a man can starve to death. If you're starving to death and you don't allow yourself to die, then you're wrong, because you'll be breaking the law to feed yourself. Like, to break the law to feed yourself, like, what's wrong with you? I know you're starving, but who are you to break the damn law? You should have stood there and starved. You should have dropped dead. And brother, that is the problem in this empire with people like this, with men like this. And it needs to be brought out, because he is the pinnacle of it. But this goes on many, many levels. Your mayors are thinking like him. Your city council members think like him. Your black police officers think like him. The sister behind the counter at the welfare office is thinking like him. The bus driver thinks like him. All of those that go to church, they think like him, instead of thinking like God wants you to think. And it is why God came and burned Pharaoh's kingdom to the goddamn ground. And he was right to do it. You die. Give me the scripture. I'm going to get up off it.
Kano Wakan, sir. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 7. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
Right. Break that part down for me, Muhammad.
No sweat. Read it one more time up.
Kano Wakan, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 7.
To give everyone the context, we're reading about the story of Adam and Eve. This is after Adam and Eve had committed the first sin. After they committed this first sin, what happened?
Kano Wakan, sir. And the eyes of them both were open.
They both realized something now that they never realized before. Keep going.
Colonel Wakan, sir. And they knew that they were naked.
They knew they were what?
Naked.
In the Bible, naked is synonymous with shame. They were absolutely ashamed of what they had done. They were ashamed. And so many of us come to this part or this time in our lives. You might have given your life over to Jesus right after a long bout of drug addiction or alcoholism. You might have tried to get yourself together and change after you realize that you've lived a life of excess and sin. At that point, you were ashamed. Your eyes were open, right? Larry Elder, people like him and Candace Owens, they go through it too, except there's a slight difference with rich people. They're ashamed of you. You understand? Larry Elder is ashamed. He grew up in South Central Los Angeles in the middle class area, you know, close to the poor area, but not quite the poor area. He was ashamed of South Central. Candace Owens was raised by her grandparents. She's West Indian, right? And went to a white school. Ashamed of the black people in the black school. And sometimes when you get ashamed of who you are or your own people, you can go find a way to clothe yourself in something that is not shameful. You can begin to dress yourself in a way that you're not ashamed of it. You can feel good about it. And this is what Adam and Eve decided to do when they were ashamed of who they were. Keep going.
Colonel Wakan, sir. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
They sewed fig leaves, meaning the metaphor is they took leaves from trees, sewed them together, and wore the leaves from those trees. So now they're not filthy niggers anymore, filthy spicks. They're not two sinners who are the first people to disobey God. Now they are as beautiful as those trees are. And those trees are tall and beautiful and wonderful. Now I'm tall and beautiful and wonderful. I'm wearing what the tree wears. I look like the tree. The tree is beautiful. I'm beautiful. Those trees were the other people, the family trees round about the garden. They looked like them. They wanted to look like them because they were ashamed of themselves. And that's how you get to become Larry Elder.
Yes.
By being ashamed of yourself. Being ashamed of every news story you hear about somebody black getting shot. Somebody black committing a crime. Can you imagine what it's like for Larry Elder when he watches the BET Awards, when he looks at the news? He probably goes, oh God. Honey, can you believe what they did again? Oh, let me go make a blog about this. I have nothing to do with these black people doing these things. I'm nothing like them. Candace Owens, every time she sees our pain, our curse, she has to separate herself from it because she's nothing like us in all of our, laziness and wanting reparations, still wanting a free ride. You still want reparations. They're ashamed of themselves. So they have to be someone else, just like Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Salakia, sir.
If I could, and that's such the perfect scripture in that Larry Elder, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's such the perfect scripture in that Larry Elder is wearing the fig leaf. He's literally wearing the complete outfit of white America. The shaved beard comes from white America. The square haircut comes from white America. The suit and tie comes from white America. The white woman comes from white America. The white conversation, the words he used, like he is totally fig leaved up. like he ain't got a fig leaf skirt. That nigga got a fig leaf garment. You understand? Like he garmented himself up with the other nations. And like you said, because he was ashamed of his own. You understand? You know what I mean? And that's the problem. You know what I mean? So that was it.
That's right.
Get it on. Next story.
Colonel Khan, sir. Lil Nas X puts his spin on the prom dress at the VMAs.
Y'all want to jump in?
Go ahead, break it down, Yedaya. This is Lil Nas X, the sodomite cat, right?
Yeah, Colonel Khan, sir. Lil Nas X came to the VMAs, the Video Music Awards. You know what I mean? And if I may, sir, with a good night. With a purple dress.
What color is that? Hold on.
Purple, wet Jerry curl.
I wonder why would he pick that color?
Never to call you, and it's all right.
Why is it the sodomites always pick that color?
Purple rain.
Probably
Purple
correct.
rain.
Right.
Go ahead, Yedaya. So this is the Video Music Awards, and it happened last night. Is that right?
Colonel Khan too. If I may, sir, which is hilarious. I don't know if we can play the video, but Lil Nas X was asking the sister, "Don't I look great? Don't I look fabulous?" And the sister was hardcore. She was like, "Well, I don't really want to comment on that."
Good. That was good. Give her a hand. Yeah. She had a little integrity. So this is how he dressed to the music awards. There you go. And that's the story, I'm assuming. Right. So that's it, sir. This is the brother. Yeah. He pretends to be a woman to shock everyone because he always makes the news whenever he dresses up like a woman. You have another picture of him pretending to be pregnant, right? Let's play that. This is another thing he did like a week ago where his whole gimmick is just to shock people with homosexuality. Yeah. And that's what he does in lieu of having talent. Now that's similar to Candace Owens and the rest of them too. Candace Owens just gets paid to shock black people with her racism against black people. And
that's right.
She sit up, and that's how she makes her money. I researched her. Before 2015, she was a Democrat and was against Republicans, calling them a kooky and kooky Republicans. Then Donald Trump started to run for the White House. She started making posts against people who were sending her hate mail, and she started to cut Democrats. And she got super popular.
And which is, once again, like, we look at those people, if I could, General, we look at people like Candace Owens and Larry Elder, like these are successful people, leaders that we should look at. When, once again, you just exposed how Candace Owens is a horrible human being, how she will sway her entire political position towards black people simply for $1. Like that's almost as bad as being a prostitute on the corner. It's horrible, and it shows you that many of these people that we look at as great and amazing are nothing more but lowly, disgusting people. Yedaya, if you could give me the scripture in Ezekiel where the Lord said, "Go through the city for them to sigh and cry." Because what I wanted to bring out, if I could, generals, if I could add something to this story with this brother right here. The picture, and this is so sad that we don't see that the picture of him. Can you go back to the other picture for a second, with him in the purple, just for illustration purposes? Because what black, and this is what black men should be deeply offended by, and not only deeply offended by, like this brother right here should not only be we should be offended by, but this should unify us for our very survival. What do I mean by that? There was another extremely successful black entertainer that wore purple also. He wasn't that long ago. He also died from a fentanyl overdose. And who am I talking about? Prince. Prince wore the purple. They did a whole movie of him wearing the purple. And they did and of course, he was also portrayed like a homosexual. There was another one before him that reached the height, or about his same time, that reached the super height of entertainment, who also dressed up as a drag queen. That was Michael Jackson. There you go. He's also wearing the purple. Michael Jackson was another one. There was one even before him who they dressed up in the British outfit and had him wear colors like purple and dressed very similar to this brother. That was Eddie Kendricks. And not only them, there's a whole lot of other ones as well.
Little Richard.
Little Richard, that the water. He was probably the predecessor of all of them.
Yeah.
And this should make black men very upset in this respect. In you know, not shocked by it, because of course they like us to be shocked by it, but not shocked by it. But a black man should see these brothers and know that there are millions and millions of dollars being put behind taking the spirit of black men away from them. There you go. That's the perfect example. This cat here looks like something you put in a damn horror movie.
Chase you down a dark alley.
Like I grew up in the projects. If this cat here walked in my bedroom after 9, I would have killed him. I'd have put him to death, because this cat here looks like a monster. Huh? Like they made this brother up like a monster to satisfy these Edomites. And and then here's the question is not asked. What actually is going on here with this brother? You can go back to him again. The one that was just at the awards and showing himself pregnant. What is actually going on here? What's actually going on here is that white America is telling black America, this is your position as a black man in this empire. And those of you that are naive, you believe, well, that's just his choice. Or you believe that that's on him. That ain't going to be you. It may not be you, but you can best believe that millions of dollars are being spent to make your son him, to make him be the standard of what a black person should be. It went on for generations. It's gone on. Maraj just put the pictures in showing the generations that went on, trying to make this the image that a black man should become. That the image of a black man being masculine and strong and dominating is not the image that the empire wants. But the empire wants this image. This is how you be loved. There go the purple again. This is the image that is beloved. You understand? And that's why they got a purple Israelite group out, because that's what they want. They want a purple image, a purple gay image to be the image that you respect and love. And this should unify black men to come up against it, man. And is it biblical what I'm saying? It's very biblical. Yediah, go ahead and read it for me.
Kana Wakan, sir. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9 and verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem.
Like the Lord sent a prophet, and this is how he said to go get this straightened out. Go ahead.
Kana Wakan, sir. And set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
Like that's how you stop this. You stop this by black men coming together and saying to themselves, when they say to put a mark on them, meaning educate them in this. Damn, here go another one. That's the same Little Richard. Like that mark is you being educated with the knowledge of the truth. You being marked with the identity of righteousness, man. You know what I mean? You being set apart as the people of righteousness, man. And he said to set that mark on them, make them something distinct, something separate. And that's what black men are supposed to be, man. They're supposed to see this and say, yo, we must come together and not allow them to turn us into this, to decide to make us something that we're not. Read a little bit more, Yediah, please.
Kana Wakan, sir. Verse 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite.
Right. And listen, and the brother put up a good point. He said this is from the 50s. This is from the 50s, huh? They've been trying to put this homosexual spirit in black men. They've been trying to take homosexual, and right now everybody knows Hollywood is saturated with homosexuals and lesbians. It's saturated. Almost not everyone, but almost every black actor in Hollywood is a homosexual. Almost every single one. And the same with the women too. You understand? You know what I mean? Like this leads right up into the other brother that died, who was also a homosexual. The brother that played in The Wire. And if I could,
so this is Luther Vandross. He died of AIDS too, I believe.
Right, and they said Luther Vandross was a notorious homosexual. Luther Vandross was all them songs you listening to were homosexual. I gotta bust your bubble. Earth, Wind, and Fire is a homosexual band. So lock you.
I think so.
Listen, one of the members, there's a interview of one of the members of Earth, Wind, and Fire. There is a song, I don't remember the song, but there's a song that Earth, Wind, and Fire made back in the 70s and 80s, or somewhere around that time, that became famous in weddings. It became like you got certain wedding songs that black people play.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this song from Earth, Wind, and Fire became a wedding song. And he said that when they were interviewing him, he said that he was horrified when he saw that the song had become popular in weddings. He said because they obviously didn't understand that this song was not about a man and a woman coming together, but was about a homosexual encounter of them coming together. Like we thought that they was just cool back then. And this was homosexuality in its height and so harmful. Not only him, what's the other one that was around Luther Vandross's time? Freddie Jackson. He was another one that was notorious in that world for being that way. You understand? That world is filled with it. And once again, that's what this world wants. Like this world is built by Satan and built by demons, and that black people are caught up into, and that the churches are caught up into. It wants Michael Jackson. It wants Prince. It wants Little Nas X. It wants that. And if you young and up and coming in this society, if you young and you on the scene and you checking out music, you should be getting a little history so that you're not, one, blinded to it, and two, you should be the generation that says, you know what, you might have pushed that on all our previous generations, but we're not going for that now. You should be like our young soldiers should be in the spirit of, we're not going for that now. We got the internet now. We don't have to listen to that bullshit no more. Excuse my French. Here he going in the purple. Another one. Boy, they like that purple. Like he was another one. He was a notorious gay man, and women loved him. Loved him. You know who was another one that was harder to notice? The brother that lost his rod on the highway over in Philadelphia. He was coming down the highway with a famous basketball player's wife in his car, and he was having oral sex while coming on the Lincoln Drive by a man, and got excited and crashed the car and lost his rod and got paralyzed. Y'all know his name. He got
Pendergrass.
Is that, yeah, it was Teddy, right? You got what I want. That was not a woman. The woman didn't have what he wanted. Salaki. You understand? He okay, but women loved him, man. Women loved him. And meanwhile, he wanted a man. Like tons of them songs out there, tons of those love songs are really written to men. You understand? But women loved them because they could imagine it being sent written to them. He was, yeah, that's him there, right? In the purple. Mariah, you good tonight, boy. You on time. Like this cat, man, was one of the hardest cats. I remember riding in my hoopty listening to this cat. You got what I want. He wanted a man. Like this is once again, this to a people, this is a horrible thing. One, because you're gonna anger the Lord and get put to death for it. You're gonna see. You think you can stand against the Most High? He's bringing the coronavirus down, man. You think that you can stand against him? Like you've been praying to him and wanting him to come out and disrespecting the Bible and looking at it like it was nothing. Now he gonna come out and show you him, and you're gonna be like those brothers and sisters that was in the wilderness who said, we don't want to hear what y'all got to say. We'll talk to God ourselves, like you Negroes do in the church. We don't got to listen to you. You can't judge me. I talk to God. I got my own personal relationship with God. I don't got to listen to you. I can talk to God for myself. Well, guess what? God is coming and talking to you now. Now he's talking to you with the coronavirus, and he's killing your family members and your friends and your neighbors. And now is the time to rethink about it. That's why I say, if you're a young soldier or a young sister out there, you don't got to believe this. I be feeling so sorry for you sisters and you brothers who sit up there and turn on to TV and the internet, and you believe whatever garbage they shovel down to you. You can make your own decisions. Like you don't have to say, I got to accept a lifestyle that's anti-God and that is basically destroying the black family. Between abortion and homosexuality and lesbianism, the black family, which is the absolute strongest structure of raising black people, which is why God gave us that structure, that's being destroyed. And because it's being destroyed, you are being destroyed. You're on drugs. Your family members dying from the coronavirus. You being shot at. You being locked up in prison. You have no self-sustaining economy because you got to go to the slave master for every job. These things are happening because we've been propagandized against, and we haven't said to ourselves, whoa, we don't got to listen to all this new nonsense. We can go and listen to something real. I don't believe this guy is gay, though. I know he had on the purple. I think he was, don't tell me. Come on, y'all gonna break my heart.
Eddie Murphy was arrested in the 90s.
Oh, yes, you right.
Sexual.
You right. You right.
He's explaining it to an interviewer. He picked up a transsexual and he got arrested for buying a male prostitute.
Listen,
he was
you
interviewed
right.
about it, and I'm sure Mariah can have it for you in a second.
Listen, you know what? You right. I stand corrected. Eddie.
And I think they say he was liking them big West Indian feet.
Yeah.
Damn.
He said he had a foot fetish for giant male feet.
Good Lord, have mercy.
And it's all in the video where the man said, he said, hey, take off your shoe. I think I saw a spider go down in your shoe. And he kept on the man's shoes. Let me give you one more heartbreaker.
Go ahead. Damn.
Richard Pryor. Mariah has another video of Richard Pryor saying that he performed oral sex on a man. That's on the video. But Eddie Murphy got arrested, so his is even more concrete.
And if I
the man, go ahead.
Salaki, General. And if I could, that's more proof of how horrible both Hollywood is and the brothers who are put up above us. How destroyed you must be. Like these actors and actresses and entertainers, they die in the drugs every day because living that alternative lifestyle is actually killing them, man. It's destroying their life. Pull up the picture of the brother from The Wire. He just died this week. If you could, Murrah. He
got on my gun.
What I miss, Salakia.
They said Mr. C. Mr. C is like a famous rapper from New York. He was caught with a transsexual just like Eddie Murphy.
And I think he was caught a couple of times. He said, and I think he halfway admitted that he was that way.
He 100% admitted it.
That's right. They said Africa Bambaataa.
Oh, forget about it. Africa Bambaataa, child molester.
Right. Led the whole Zulu nation in the 70s. The whole Zulu nation was being led by a man that didn't like women. Like, once again, we destroy ourselves because of the poison of this empire, and we should turn away from it, man. Okay, you know, man, you holding something for me, Udiah?
Will Smith.
I'm sorry, did we read that?
Movie 6 Degrees of Separation?
Yeah.
That's right.
Will Smith was spread eagle.
Damn.
Yeah. Come on.
Like that takes a piece of your soul away from you, man. Yeah, there you go. He died of that same fentanyl that Prince died from, and so many of them died from, because that's a conflicted lifestyle, man. That's a conflicted lifestyle. And again, most black male homosexuals have been molested or raped. Some of them have suffered the full-fledged rape, which is a nightmare for black people. But yet we're told that we should embrace that lifestyle, that we should, that they have rights and should be, embraced with love, when it is one of the most destructive things you could ever do to a black man. To molest him and to draw him into an alternative lifestyle is one of the most horrible things. And the thing is, because the empire loves it, it's like you can't stand up against it, which is why God called for real prophets, man, real men of strength, man, real men that will say whatever has to be said, regardless of what anybody thinks, because the only way that these nightmares stop is when there are enough brothers that stand up and say, you know what, that's not the life we're going to live. And you're not going to do these things to our brothers and sisters and draw them into such a horrible life and have them on drugs. This brother, Richard Pryor, made millions and millions of dollars, man, and smoked it all up, and then turned on a TV and watched an Asian or Southeast Asian burn himself up in protest. And he went and poured the liquor on himself and lit himself on fire to follow the cat he saw on the TV set, and almost burnt himself he almost killed himself in that fire. Go ahead, Marat.
Go ahead, Marat. You can play.
You able to catch the point?
Sir, but it's only 2 minutes.
No, never fuck a faggot. No, now I like to say this on film, because to all American male persons, never fuck a faggot, because they will lie. They always say, I don't want cow. They lie. They can't wait till you finish fucking them. Well, guess who was him, honey?
You can stop it right there. You can stop it right there. Just to make sure we don't infringe on the copyright. He admitted it right there. He admitted it right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what's happened to us in this place, man. That's what's happened to us in this place. And meanwhile, they put little Nas X up one more time. They parade this cat up in front of you, and everybody's supposed to cheer and laugh and be happy. And if you're not, you're homophobic. But what about the nightmare that pushing this on us has brought forth? What about the nightmare? What about all the horror story? Richard Pryor tried to kill himself. You understand? Tons of other black men drunk themselves or smoked themselves or cracked themselves to death because of the molestation and the madness that they have gone through, man. And Edomites even talk about it. Edomites be talking about it in Hollywood as well. We could change all this, man, if we come back to the Most High and follow these 12 lost tribes and follow these these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. We could do something great. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't. Esau like to teach you that this is how life is. This is not how life is. This is how a nightmare is. This is how life is when you're in captivity. This is not how life is going to be when you are in charge and Christ is ruling the world. I'm gonna get up off it unless y'all want to add something.
Okay.
Where we going next, fam?
Khan. Stephen A. Smith, why I forced Max Kellerman off First Take.
Read on.
Khan. Stephen A. Smith set the record straight about co-host Max Kellerman's exit from ESPN's First Take in a revealing interview on Hot 97. When asked about the truth about Kellerman's departure over 5 years on the show together, Smith confirmed that he wanted Kellerman off the program.
Go ahead.
Khan, sir.
Sir, if I could, this is Stephen A. Smith. He has a sports show. It's a very popular sports show for years. He has this Edomite, this so-called oppressor. Max Kellerman has been his host for 7 or 8 years or something like that. So now recently, Stephen A. Smith pushed his white co-host off the show. Didn't want him on the show anymore he had the producers fire him. And
Damn.
he admitted to doing it, saying that he wanted the show to be more lively, to go in a different direction, and to be re-energized.
Thank
so
the Most High.
And now also, sir, if I could, this same Max Kellerman, back when the football player, what's his name?
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson came out a few years ago and said that black people were the real Jews. And when Max Kellerman heard that, and they covered it on a sports show because Deshaun Jackson is a football player, Max Kellerman says that's some belief that's getting popular, but it's ridiculous.
Marah, can you pull this video and give us a still shot? I don't want to go on the copyright on it. Pull a still shot of this Kellerman guy. Go ahead, General. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No sweat. He began to disparage even the concept or the thought of black people being the chosen people of God.
Wow.
He began to talk about how ridiculous the thought was, the notion was that black people could be the real Jews. And now Stephen A. Smith, a real Jew, fired him.
Thank the Most High. You know what? I remember him now. I remember this Edomite now. This Edomite was trying. He said, I remember him. He was trying to say they just want attention, and they just want, yes, we want attention. We want every black person in America to hear this truth and to wake up and open their eyes and see the hellhole that the empire has put us in, and to start to serve the Most High. And you listen, you're gonna get there anyway, because the Most High is plaguing this place like crazy, man. Okay, they said they found a new strain again in China. China turned out a strain, brother, like you turn out a hamburger at Burger King. They got a new. Yeah, this is this clown right here. And once again, the so-called Jew, the minute you bring up anything about the black Jews, this so-called Jew, any of them, they quick to turn around and try to block it. They quick to try to protect themselves from it.
No, he went on a tirade. He said, I'm Jewish, and it's attacking us. It's making us seem like we're the big bad guys trying to take over the earth. It's all bull crap. He said, in black, he says, Negroes saying, that they're Jews. It's low. He called it low class information. That's
right.
Low class information.
Right. He said low class.
Ain't that something? Low class information. You understand? Like every other religion on this earth. This is how you know we the real Jews, because every other religion on earth. The Arabs are terrorists, man. And they don't hide that. They don't hide that it says in the Quran that it is their duty to kill the infidel. They don't hide that. But meanwhile, don't nobody say their religion is low class information. Don't nobody say that about their religion. But you will say that about a black man that claims to be a Jew, because of course that means the question might come up on whether or not you are a Jew. That question might come up. And though none of them want that question to come up. Like how dare you tell black people who've been in this country 400 years, who suffered the absolute same example of what went on in the Bible in ancient Egypt. I mean, a carbon copy of what took place in ancient Egypt, we suffered in this country. And you got the nerve to say we don't have the right to try and look at our history to see whether or not we are the chosen people of God. I dare you to find me a piece of archaeology in Egypt that showed the slaves as white. You will never find that, because the slaves were not white. They were black. So what's so low information about that when it's in your history books, it's in your archaeology books? Your scientists and DNA experts all turn around and say that whites that come out of Europe could never have been Jews. That in fact, they're descendants of the Khazar Empire, man.
That's right.
Like that's your experts say that. Once again, we never needed your books to tell us. We knew it from the Bible. We knew it from biblical prophecy. But your scholars came out and wrote these in books and exposed this information. Your scholars. You understand? Your scholar, can you give me back, Marah? Your scholars did that, not us. Your scholars did these things. Your scholars brought these things out, not us. How are you going to look at us sideways when their people are the ones that brought all this stuff out? Go ahead.
You die?
You want us to play the clip,
if
sir?
we can play it, which I don't know.
No, I'm not sure we can play it.
All right.
Might pull the show. I wouldn't even worry about it.
Come on, go ahead. Solid. I don't know if he's. I mean, this Michael K. Williams, sir, was he gay or did he play gay on TV?
Who, the brother?
Fake.
Oh, that's $1 million question. But as far as I'm concerned, if you are the president of the United States, an astronaut, a sports figure, or an actor or actress, if you a black man and you kiss another black man, you gay.
That's usually how they look at it.
I don't know no other way to, you know what I'm saying? And Esau is such an expert at convincing you to be that way, because he tells you if you're a real professional actor, you will totally leave yourself and your comfort zone, and you will be willing to play a homosexual because you are not one. So this character is one. They gas you up in acting school with that. And so they take a straight man and he think, well, if I'm going to show myself to be a right actor, then I'm gonna have to go kiss a man, and because I'm playing a role, and then when I'm finished, I won't be that way no more. Which, I mean, you know, whether you acting or not, you're just gonna have to lose some roles. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have to, you know what I mean? You're gonna have to Lovecraft Country. Who was that? I missed him. Afiyan. Who was that? Anyway, but the point is this: he played in that movie and other movies, and in The Wire, brother, he had a full out Salakia. I always mess the brothers' names up. Salakia. Ayathan Tawara. Ayathan got it right, man. He played it in Lovecraft Country. And listen, and in The Wire, brother, he had a full out homosexual relationship with a Hispanic man. And here's what keeps being missed. You know what I mean? What keeps being missed is, you know, Esau is putting these roles in these movies for years. Like in the Obama era is when they rolled out this extreme push for black men and black women to become homosexual and lesbians. I mean, it was an extreme push, and it's still an extreme push. I mean, they're pushing it tooth and nail in every way they can, because this is what they want. They want us to be that. And let me tell you something. And let me tell you how you slipped off the horse. We should have never as a people allowed them to tell us that it was okay to kill our babies. That was the beginning of the mistakes. Like once we started accepting we can kill our babies, well, then it was easy to turn our women into lesbians. Yeah. You understand? Like if our women, you want to talk about feeling guilt, you understand? If our women had the wherewithal and the education to never, ever, ever give up their baby, then guess what? We would turn around and we not only would we keep our babies, but our women would learn the precious appointment of life and the necessity of life and the necessity of herself as a woman. And the great thing that she brings forth. And then guess what? She wouldn't kill the baby and go out and have a lesbian relationship, thinking that was all right. And let me tell you something else too. During the coronavirus, this is something that's about to come out as well. During the coronavirus, the level of suicides among black, gay, and lesbian men and women the level of suicides was ridiculous because, of course, everybody had to be quarantined. So gay and lesbians are less likely to live together than other people in relationships. And as a result of it, there was a ton of lonely homosexuals and lesbians, and many of them killed themselves. Many, of course, died from the corona and the AIDS and all of these other things. Many of them that had AIDS the coronavirus just wiped them out because they were already fighting the AIDS virus. Then the coronavirus came in on top of it and helped to wipe them out. And as a result, it was tons and tons of suicide. And now they pushing now every black homosexual and every black lesbian and Latino, they pushing them. They got groups of Edomites emailing them, calling them, pushing them constantly to come out with their sexual orientation. And this brother is another tragic story. We looked at him like he was great because he was an actor. He made a whole lot of money as an actor. He was looked at as a success because he was in several movies. He was good as hell in that movie Boardwalk Empire. Oh, he played a straight up hardcore gangster in Boardwalk Empire. And so we looked at him like he was successful. But meanwhile, look at the horrible life that he lived. He's sitting during the midst of a pandemic. He's sitting in his multi-million-dollar brownstone in Brooklyn, sitting at his dining room table with a pile of fentanyl in front of him that he's taking, sniffing, or however you take it, until he dies. Until he dies. Like that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And it is because the Lord is requiring that we sin no more. The Most High is done with us and sinning. He's done with this whole world and its evil. Okay? Yeah. He's done with all of that. And now another thing, if I could, boy, oh boy, we better keep an eye, because now some reporters and some family members of 9/11 have finally found out. Just a little sidebar. They finally have proof that Saudi Arabia was complicit in 9/11, according to them, which this could lead to a whole nother set of catastrophes on this empire. Judgment Day is here. Judgment Day is here. And nobody's escaping, man. You must repent to escape this judgment. You're going to have to recognize that all your independent thoughts on what you could and should and would do was all a bunch of crap. That really the Lord's program is always going to win out over yours. So lock it.
You dying?
Got him. Self-defense. Black Minneapolis man beaten to a pulp after returning fire at apparently unmarked van filled with cops is acquitted of all charges.
Damn.
Connor Wakan. The Black St. Paul man who alleged he fired at police at a Minneapolis police officers in self-defense last year during a protest following the death of George Floyd has been acquitted of all charges. Jalil Stallings.
That's an amazing thing to hear. You mean to tell me he returned fire at the cops and is acquitted? Now this is something amazing. I never heard nothing like this before. You return fire to the police, they had to pick you up with a spoon normally. They do you like Amadou Diallo 41 times. That's what they do normally. Go ahead.
Connor Wakan. Jalil Stallings, 29, was arrested last year for returning fire at police officers and claimed he did not know the people shooting were officers because they were in an unmarked vehicle. Stallings was charged with attempted murder and found not guilty earlier this year on September 1st.
His face looked like they tried to do him like Emmett Till. Go ahead.
Connor Wakan, sir. He was acquitted of all 8 charges stemming from the incident.
So
now, come on, Hodge. You got to explain this to me, huh? Oh, go ahead, General. I'm sorry.
I was just saying the cops and the district attorney, they went ahead with the case. They tried to convict him, but he was pronounced not guilty.
Oh, I got you. So they still tried to put him under the bus.
Yeah.
Come.
Damn. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Connor Wakan, sir. On May 30th, 2020, amid a night of protest, officers in a mostly unmarked van began firing rubber bullets at a group they spotted standing in a parking lot. Thinking the bullets were real and were being fired by civilians, Stallings, an Army veteran, fired back 3 times with a pistol for which he had a permit for.
Damn. Use that army training on them, huh?
Come.
Go ahead.
Colonel Wakan, sir. He later said in the back of his mind, he remembered Minnesota Governor Tim Walz's warning that white supremacists were in the area looking for trouble.
Damn.
Stallings was struck several times by the rounds and thought he was bleeding out. No officers were injured by the gunfire.
They were still going to send him up.
Yeah.
And it shows you that those people standing in that parking lot were not a threat. Because why would you open fire from the vehicle unless somebody was firing at you?
Because they're playing games, sir. They playing around. Like they're not even respecting what they're supposed to do. You ain't supposed to engage. Even if you got rubber bullets, you don't engage without first identifying yourself. Like that's the number one thing. You got to identify who you are. If you work in plain clothes, which I did a whole ton of a lot, if you encounter a civilian, the first thing you got to do is identify yourself and let it be known that you are an officer. That's the first thing. They didn't do that. They shooting, just having fun at people. That's all. They playing games, sir. But they played with the right one and catch shot back, Sergeant, sir.
Exactly. If I could, it was just like the governor said, white supremacists were there to start trouble, except they were cops.
Right.
My God, go ahead.
No sweat. Like the crowd was supposed to run, and you wasn't never supposed to hear about this.
God.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's it.
God, he turned around and hit them back. They was shocked. They must be
Governor warned us.
Like that Iraqi war shit kicked in on his ass. He licked their ass up.
Sticking up there, white supremacists.
They out playing pop, pop, pop. His mind snap on their ass like, oh shit, the Iraqi. He start clapping on it. They got the message after that, huh?
How he missed though, huh? What's going on?
Well, I would like to read the report as the way he hit, because in a vehicle, I want to know where he hit at. Like where he hit at in the vehicle.
Like they got out that car and whooped that. Like they got about that car and beat the damn. Go ahead, you Diane.
Colonel Wakan, sir. Stallings testified that he realized he had been firing at police officers when the SWAT team jumped out the vehicle. He dropped his weapon and laid on the pavement. Then, during the beating that followed, Stallings' eye socket was fractured.
Damn.
I hit him.
We have video, sir.
Please, go ahead.
Shots fired. Hold on. Go. 1281. Priority. Shots fired. 2 suspects in custody. Gun recovered. We are at. Where are we?
Like he hollering because they still beating him. They still beating on him. They trying to murder him.
14th and Lake.
Like they been had him in custody. They trying to murder him.
Put him in recovery. Recovery.
Like they still beating on the other cat.
1281. I need a rig here code.
Now let me tell you something. They got that was a good healthy scare. They got a good scare for being complete monster. Like who plays around by shooting rubber bullets at people standing in a parking lot? They got a good healthy scare, and that's why they acting the way they acted, because they were being animals shooting rubber bullets at people and did not expect the brother to react. And them shots, they went back into that van, scared the hell out of them. You can hear it in their voice. Meanwhile, they would never do this if it was a white neighborhood. They would never, ever, ever, ever do this. You understand? Like, he's barely conscious anymore.
Yeah, we out of it. You know, they had a dang on what they call a concussion.
Right. He's barely conscious. Like look, and there's only a few of them in that parking lot. They went crazy when they got fired back on.
Tell them what's coming. Can you imagine if they wouldn't have had them body cams, sir? Like if they wouldn't have had them body cams, them two brothers would have been dead.
Yeah.
They would have killed them without them body cams. But them body cams showed everything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's something for these cats to be tactical. And the discipline is supposed to have being tactical. You don't play around with bullets, whether they're rubber or real. You understand?
And you certainly don't fire out of the van.
No, you don't.
Like who fires out of the van? So it's a damn joke.
Yeah.
You understand?
And the focus is on, the brother being acquitted. He didn't do no wrong, but ain't no conversation on these cops coming up on charges.
Exactly.
Hopefully they did the civil. Maybe he can take them to civil court and break their bank. Hopefully.
Yeah. There is no law or no book for no police department anywhere in this country called America where you can play around with rubber bullets and shoot them. There's no law. There's no law, and they broke it by playing around the way they did, and they should have been charged. All of them should have been kicked off the damn team. New teams should have been formed, and they should have been kicked off for what they did.
And they should be in jail for assault. They were beating the hell out. They were beating the hell out of that brother. That was assault.
Once the man said it, so like I was saying, like you were saying, sir, it's a miracle that this brother didn't go to jail. And finally, some jury had enough sense to see who the real criminals are.
Yeah.
So like you, sir.
Yeah. And it seemed like in that town, I think that's Minneapolis. In that town, brother, they done had so much. I think that's. You correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that where George Floyd was killed at? Yeah, they done had so many incidences even before George Floyd that they done had about enough of these cops over there in Minneapolis. Like over there, that's the straight up Ku Klux Klan over there. And they had about enough of that and decided to let these brothers go. But like you said, where's the charges at? These cats should have been charged, man. They should have been charged for firing them rubber bullets. Look at how far in the parking lot they had to come to get these brothers. I mean, they was riding by, man, and decided they was just gonna shoot at these brothers. There ain't no riot out here. Where's the crowd at? Where's the witnesses at? These cats were standing off to the side by themselves. They thought they'd have a little fun and shoot at their ass with the rubber bullets. And that's another lesson for Esau too. There's a lot of brothers that was in them wars, man. Lost friends and all that. And they got PTSD, and some of them is half crazy, but them killing skills that Esau taught them, they still got.
And some people don't like to be effed with all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
They don't want to just effing with you all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
There's enough to do something irrational.
Yeah.
Right. You know,
You know, I used to always tell cats that stop being a you know what, a PUSSY, and you want to handcuff a cat, then you want to put your hands on him. No, take the cuffs off. You want to fight his man up.
Right.
Take the cuffs off. Give me, I hold your gun for you. Take off your belt and you go square up man on man. And stop all that cuffing cats and whooping them, man. This cat was trying to put his hands behind his back. This irked me. Because if you're going to fight a cat, fight a cat. Fight him straight up. He on the ground, face down, hands behind his back, and you said he punched him in the face with them padded gloves. You see the gloves he had on?
Mm-hmm.
He had the hard padded gloves. He hit him in the face.
Exactly.
Hands behind his back. When y'all started that, they playing around with the rubber bullets, man. They started that. Every one of them should have been charged. Every one of them should have been kicked off the force, and he pensions taken from for what they did. It was wrong.
Damn right.
And he need to start getting charged for this, man, so they can stop.
Damn right. And you can blind the man behind that, man, with them rubber bullets. Look how he's striking him. Look at that. Like, he already handcuffed. Look at his head. He busting him in the head. He already handcuffed. Look at it. And what is he hitting him with? Is that a flashlight? What is that? A charger? What is that? Oh, that's a seatbelt swinging. That's some kind of.
I think this one cat had AR-15, but they also had.
Oh yeah, that's the strap. That's the strap hanging off.
Strap hanging down from his
from
the AR-15.
He just straight assaulting. This is assault and battery. The man got his hands behind his back. Look at him. He's straight assault and battery. And listen, putting the leg, that's the knee on the neck right there.
Yep.
That's the knee on the neck. He's trying to kill this brother. Like, he should be charged with attempted murder, man. Or at the minimal, assault and battery. Something like that. But of course, this goes on with routine. And if you ask Larry Elder, he'll tell you that these brothers deserved it.
Yeah.
That's why, once again, I don't know why any black man would go fight for this man's war voluntarily, because you can make arguments on both sides, but I'm not going to fight for no empire that wants to kill me. That I'm gonna come home and you're gonna beat me to death simply because you hate me. Then why am I fighting to strengthen and empower your empire? You know what I'm saying? I might as well strengthen and empower my people and wait until the Lord bring the judgment down on you, because every empire on the earth eventually ends. It ain't never been not one empire on this earth that lasts forever. So, I mean, why would you even do that? He come home from the war standing in a parking lot, and the very people that's supposed to protect him is trying to murder him right now. After they they trained him. He went and fought for them, came back, they shoot rubber bullets at him. He take that same training they gave him, defend himself, thinking he's under attack, and instead they try to murder him for it. Damn that up. Like, that is, and once again, because we got such horrible leaders, that kind of injustice doesn't even get discussed. Like, it don't even get weighed like if it's a real issue. Like the abuse and assaults and the things they do to us, it don't even get weighed like, is there something even wrong here? It don't even get, it's like it's not even happening. Go ahead, GEN.YAHANNA. Salam.
Oh, no, you hitting it exactly. It's like everybody walk away. It's like that thing that happened where everybody walk away. I ain't seen nothing.
Exactly. Exactly. Like, it don't never get discussed. Like, what was done here? You understand? Like, what was done here? Like, it don't even come up on the radar because it's so not important and so common and so evil. You understand? And once again, with horrible, horrible, disgusting leaders like Larry Elder, it'll never get discussed. Matter of fact, he'll be blamed for it. Yep. He'll be blamed for it. They'll say, well, he should have been paying more attention to his surroundings. He should have, he should have realized the only one who would shoot rubber bullets are police officers. He's been in the hood his whole life. He should understand the difference between what sounds like a rubber bullet and real. Like, they'll find some reason for it to be his fault, which is why in the Israelite school of UPK, we do not charge black people for things that are not their fault. And we don't have to stop charging blacks and Latinos out for things that are not their fault. everything in your society is not under your control when you are under another nation of Israel. And once again, it's why Moses' job was so difficult. And Moses, now I see why it took Moses till he was 80 years old to bring the children of Israel out of Egypt, because of the brainwashing and ignorance of our people. It takes so much to get you to even look at the fact that you are in slavery. To even look at the fact that, like, if not, thank the Lord for these body cam videos, because this right here, to a man that has an ounce, all you need is strike that. A man that has a quarter ounce of integrity. These videos simply show you the world that you live in. And they should be, and then you should see the world you live in. You should see the world you live in and not be relaxed and not be comfortable. You understand? And not just take it as something lightly. Because, I mean, my goodness, man. You know what I mean? And we said it years ago. We said it, y'all remember, we were saying it way, way back. That Black people, Latino people, Native Indian people don't realize the danger that they are as a people. Like these people went off and went and raided the capital of the United States of America. And brother, they are getting ready to have a rally for the people that raided the capital of the United States of America. Like, not only did they raid the capital of the United States, they mad that the people that raided it are even being charged. Like, they ain't even, like, they talk about law and order, and you gotta follow the rules and law and order. Meanwhile, these people that went and broke the law, assaulted cops, trashed officers, threatened the lives of Congress people, they mad that you even charge them with something wrong. Like, once again, their injustice to them means that they have the right to kick in the doors of the Capitol, because as far as they're concerned, you didn't give them the proper justice. You didn't give them the proper justice so they could raid the Capitol, beat up cops, break windows, trash furniture, threaten the lives of people, because you didn't give them what they believe was proper justice in their voting system. But meanwhile, a Black man don't have to have done anything. And if he object to getting his head split open for absolutely nothing but your personal anger and hatred of Black people, then it's like, it's your fault. Crime is high because the crime is all in Black neighborhoods. So because the crime is high in Black neighborhoods, if you get your head split open by cops, well, it's not their fault. It's because it's high crime in Black neighborhoods. Like, brother, that's the kind of injustice that will bring the Lord to his feet. And which is why we should keep saying it. We should say it into the ears of the angels, so that the angels of the Lord bring it before the Most High and say, do you see what is happening to your chosen people down there? Do you see the injustice and the evil being done to them? And brother, it will drive the Most High to his feet like it's already doing. He opened up that coronavirus. He poured out that vials. You can go in Revelation and see, brother. He said he's going to pour out that vials, brother, and it's going to pour down all kind of hell into this earth. And this is exactly what is happening now. Like, these things is him. This is how he comes. And when he comes, he comes right. This is what's going on here. Because, I mean, this is insane, man. Salaki, somebody was going to say something.
No, I was going to say, General, you know, with the fact that brother being in the military and the training he received, they drill that training to you so hard and so heavy that it's like second nature. And
Right.
it's something that you'll never really forget. If it wasn't for you, sir, and this truth, I would have still been stuck in that mindset from what I was trained. And it's really hard to get out of it. When you hear a gunshot, you react.
Exactly.
It ain't no that's about it. You hear it, you are on alert immediately. You know what I mean?
Right.
I see why he was getting fired, because he was getting fired upon. He didn't know who it was. He
Right.
reacted the way he was trained. He was trained that way.
That's right.
And cops really thought that they was really under attack. When they got in the car, you know, they didn't return fire. They was playing around.
Right.
They played with the wrong one. You know what I mean? All that shit that came out. Like, you can't play with people out here. You know, and a lot of cats coming home from the military and they walking around here shell shocked. That PTSD is very real. And when them bullets flying, they react. And it's what he did.
Exactly. Exactly.
If I could, even after the Capitol attack, after the attack on the Capitol, where the Capitol police were attacked and damn near killed, Donald Trump went and met with the New York Police Department, and they cheered for Donald Trump like that was still their president.
Wow.
Although the followers of Donald Trump are the ones who attacked the Capitol. Here he is on 9/11, sir, in New York, in front of the police like he is the god of all police.
Amazing.
After the Capitol attack, after the Capitol Police testified before Congress that he should be blamed because he sent those people there to attack the Capitol. That's
he got all
the Capitol Police said. Go ahead.
Amazing. Would you give it up for General Muhammad? Would you bring it out? Like that's it. Like if white people attack the Capitol Police, they must have had a good reason to do it, and they still gonna cheer the ringleader who did it. Like this cat here raised a full-out insurrection riot that led to the death of police officers. And why he ain't locked up as a war criminal or a criminal against the country. Instead, he is cheered by the very cops. And here's why, because this is the lesson black people should learn. What you brought out right there, General, is so important. Like the lesson to learn here is they don't care if you even kill cops. As long as you hate black people, they love you. If you hate blacks and Latinos and you about killing them blacks and Latinos, those cops will love you even if you create a riot against very cops. And not just black cops. I mean, not just white cops, blacks and Latinos and natives as well. Like tons of the cops sitting in that room are black and Latino. That one standing up there in the front, he's Latino. That one on the right, all the way to the right of your screen, half of his face showing, he's Latino. There's a ton of Latino and black cops. There's a brother right there down the middle, sergeant at that. That's a sergeant right there with the thick beard. That's a brother. A ton of them Latinos be trying to pretend like they Edomites or Italians. They shave their head off. You understand? They stay out in the sun, trying to make themselves look as pale and as white as they possibly can. But they Latinos, man, from Puerto Rico and all that. That sister right there with the camera up, she look Latino. You understand? But like you said, they don't care. They don't care. As long as you hate blacks and Latinos, they don't care. Even the black and Latino ones don't care.
Damn, they're like the governor said. He said the white supremacists are starting trouble. Donald Trump is ahead of them. You understand? And even if you're the police and you fight against those white supremacists, you become an enemy, no matter who you are. And those black and brown people on the force, they just part of the white supremacist team.
Yeah, they hate blacks and Hispanics too.
God.
Exactly. And the fact, I didn't mean to cut you off, Salah.
I'm done.
And I was just going to say, and now they're getting ready, in next Saturday, brother, they're getting ready to have a rally for the people. You can bring it back to me, Marah. Next Saturday, they're going to have a rally for the people. Give me full screen, Marah, if you could. Next Saturday, they're going to give me full screen. Next Saturday, they're going to have a rally for the people. I might be frozen. Am I frozen? I might be froze out. If I am, just keep me here.
You are frozen.
Okay, no sweat. That next Saturday, they about to have a full-fledged rally for the people that raided the Capitol. We live in two totally different Americas, man. And I pray blacks and Latinos wake up and see the real world you living in. And thanks be to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, because he took this Bible, and in this Bible is so damn spiritual, man. If this is your first time watching this show, or you've been watching the Israelites, listen to me as your brother. Let me tell you as your brother, I tell you as a brother. It might seem confusing right now to understand the Bible. It might seem like it's way left. It might seem like it's a white book. But trust me, as brother to brother, let me tell you straight up. This Bible has all the secrets to the world you live in right now. They was written thousands of years ago for you to be able to decipher it right now and to understand the world you in and to understand the near future of what's about to happen. That Bible is a precious, righteous, holy book that we should all hold on to, man, because it shows the real truth in a foggy world of lies and deceit. It shows you how to wade through the darkness and to come into the light and understand the world you in. And I ain't talking about singing and dancing and feel good music as the means to do it. I'm talking about seriously studying and learning the knowledge of the Most High in Christ and learning how this world that you're in works and what is happening to you, because we are living in a totally different America than the rest of white America and the other nations. And very shortly, we are going to see that we are alone in this world, that the rest of these nations are not with us. We are by ourselves, and the world wants to make you the victims until there's nothing left for you, man. Hey, listen, I.S.U.P. You was going to say something, General? Go ahead.
No, it's good, Joe. No, that's all right, General.
Okay, I was just going to say ISUPK.com is the website. Go over to the website, support this truth, pay your tithes, man. Support this truth, man, so we can keep pushing this knowledge forward. Want to thank the heavy hitters in the building with me, General Muhammad, General Maka'ala, General Hazayan, Officer Marah, Yedaya Ibad, and their whole team, man. I'm Commander General Yahanna, man. I see you every Monday live on I.S.U.P.K, y'all. Y'all take care. Shalom.
Let's go! Come on! We want no cowards in our camp, only men prepared to die. We want no cowards in our camp, never let their colors fly. We want no cowards in our camp, only men prepared to die. We want no cowards in our camp, never let their colors fly. We want no cowards in our camp, only men prepared to die.
Hey yo, Israel, where them soldiers at? And I ain't talking about them busts.
Psalms chapter 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High.
You now in that secret place of the Most High. Go ahead.
Shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Now you abiding under that shadow. Go ahead.
I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress.
Always look at the Most High as the one going to keep you safe, God. The one that going to be your refuge. Go ahead.
This U.P.K, the army of Christ.
My God, in Him will I trust.
The Most High from now on is who you trust. Go ahead.
Verse 10, surely He shall deliver thee from the name of the fathers.
No matter what happens, He's going to always deliver you.
Yes, sir. And from the noisome pestilence.
When He destroy this place, you going to be delivered from them bombs, brother.
Yes, sir.
Read forward. Go ahead, brother.
He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust.
Them angels going to watch over you, brother, and you trust in them from now on.
Israel, where them soldiers at?
You know, man, the scriptures say, let the weak say I'm strong. Like, can the Most High get a couple brothers be strong? You understand?
You decided to do that. You can't never beat that. Like, the Lord gonna be with you. A lot of cats fell and was weak. That's right. But you decide you gonna stand with the Most High. That's right. Damn right. In that verse,
His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
congratulations, King. The Lord you an officer of your house. A man of the Most High, brother. That's right.
Israel, where them soldiers at?
Stand with the Lord, or are you going to run? That's right. And 99.9% of everybody just decide to bow out and become Christian. Right. That's just all really life comes down to. Life is, do I conquer or am I going to be conquered? And you can't conquer without the Lord. So if you go to conquer, you might as well stand with the Lord. Right.
Let's go! Let's go! Come on! Come on!
We want no cowards in our camp, only men prepared to die. We want no cowards in our camp, never let their colors fly. We want no cowards in our camp, only men prepared to die. We want no cowards in our camp, never let their colors fly. We want no cowards in our camp, only men prepared to die.
Go get some!
Hey, yo.
Always look at the Most High as the one gonna keep you safe, the one that gonna be your refuge. Go ahead.
This U.P.K, the army of Christ.
My God, in Him will I trust.
The Most High from now on is who you trust. Go ahead.
Verse 10, surely He shall deliver thee from the name of the rulers.
No matter what happens, He's gonna always deliver you.
Yes, sir. And from the noisome pestilence.
When He destroyed this place, you gonna be delivered from them bombs, brother.
Yes, sir.
Israel, where them soldiers at? And I ain't talking about them busters.
Psalms chapter 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High.
You now in that secret place of the Most High. Go ahead.
Shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Now you abiding under that shadow.
I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress.
In that verse.
His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
Congratulations, King, from the Lord. You will officer of your house, a man of the Most High.
That's right.
Israel, where them soldiers at?
Stand with the Lord, or are you going to run?
That's right.
And 99.9% of everybody just decide to bow out and become Christian.
Right.
That's just all really life comes down to. Life. Go ahead, brother.
He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust.
Them angels gonna watch over you, brother, and you trust in them from now on.
Israel, where them soldiers at?
You know, man, the scriptures say, let the weak say I'm strong.
That's right.
Like, can the Most High get a couple brothers be strong?
Right.
You understand?
Right.
You decided to do that. You can't never beat that. Like, the Lord gonna be with you. A lot of cats fell and was weak.
That's right.
But you decide you gonna stand with the Most High.
That's right.
Damn.